So welcome back to the channel, and this is a slightly different video because last night I went to the cinema and I saw the super long movie that Bond movie that was 2 hours and 40 something minutes long. And from the moment that I got there, got my peanut M&Ms and my bottle of water, and I sat down. Then there's ads, then there's trailers, and then there's the opening credits, and then no, the opening scenes, sorry. So by the time it got to the opening credits, I'd been in my seat an hour already. So the showing started at 8 and I got out of my seat after 11 o'clock. So it's a long old time to be sat there. It was something like 11:15. So yeah, well over 3 hours. And anyway, so I'm a fan of Bond movies. Obviously you have to take a step back from, the historical misogyny and the comedy aspect, which sometimes came in, that you just thought, that doesn't really work for Bond espionage, international, global adventure. And also a lot of the movies obviously dated, and the Daniel Craig era, although I like it, originally it was more of he was an action hero rather than the traditional quintessential Ian Fleming Bond. In fact, I don't think any of them are the Ian Fleming Bond. But anyway, but that's not to say I didn't like it. I mean, they're a great series of movies, apart from Quantum of Solace, and also they had a running theme through them about Spectre and about Vesper Lynd, and all of those things. There was a theme running through, and it kind of made sense. So anyway, I went to see this movie. It's been hyped. Obviously, it's delayed by 2 years. So here's my quick review of it, without spoilers. Now, as a Bond movie goes, because I've gone to see a Bond movie, so obviously it's got the traditional baddie in weird clothes, the traditional baddie who's quite creepy, check, the traditional baddie with facial scarring, check, the traditional baddie with some kind of backstory that's linked to Bond somehow, check, traditional baddie with a hollowed out volcano or an abandoned island or a missile bunker or something, check, a baddie with a limitless supply of henchmen, probably from henchmenrs.com, who can't shoot. So there's always henchmen that can't shoot, can't fight, and so check. What else? Bond girls, check. Bond theme. Now, I'd forgotten, because the theme by Billie Eilish came out so long ago, must be 18 months, nearly 2 years ago, and I'd forgotten how absolutely epic it is. Because I remember hearing it the first time thinking, that's a great Bond theme. It's like, properly in the mold of, Shirley Bassey, Sheena Easton, that kind of, and when you see it with the opening credits, it's pure Bond. So check, big check. So everyone might turn around and say, yeah, but that's a cliched Bond movie. But then the question is it worth watching? Absolutely, it's worth watching. And also, it's the end of an era. And if you think about the movies that kind of previous Bond actors finished on, they weren't the best. I mean, was it Diamonds Are Forever for Connery? Not including Never Say Never Again, because that, oh come on, really? And was that an Ian Fleming? I don't think that was an Ian Fleming one. And what was, then it was Roger Moore with A View to a Kill. No. What was that? Christopher Walken and Grace Jones? No. And Pierce Brosnan was... I have not prepared this. Die Another Day. I wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. But I would highly recommend it. So it's got all of the vital ingredients, but it's got a whole load of other stuff. And obviously there's the continuing jokes about, or comments about, the aging Bond, and you know, all of that stuff. And then there's obviously the love interest, and then there's the globe-trotting adventures, and the epic scenery, and the scene at the beginning, which everyone's seen in the trailer, which is that was a 986 Boxster, which is in Italy, in Matera, a place called Matera. Now I've been there. My wife and I have been there, and I remember looking at it. We both thought, doesn't that just feel like Tatooine from Star Wars? But it did, and it's where there's people used to live in houses or dwellings carved out into the mountainside. So their rooms, the walls were parts of the mountain, and they lived there up until the 50s, and now they're kind of a bit of a World Heritage Site type thing. I don't know if it is a World Heritage Site, but it's but they're preserved, and you can go and see some of them. And the hotel that we stayed in was carved out of a mountain, and I might add a photo in of it actually. And those scenes, and I just thought, oh God, I've walked down those mountains. I've walked along that road. We've driven down that road in our hire car. I've walked up those steps that James Bond is going up on a motorcycle, and where he's shooting up a place in his Aston Martin with the machine guns coming out of the headlights. So all of those things, I would still watch it. And do you have to watch it at the cinema? I don't feel like you would lose a huge amount if you didn't see it at the cinema, because I went when it wasn't jam-packed, because of the timing and the day that I went on. So it meant that I was with 3 other friends, and we were sat in isolation in the middle, and everyone else was around us. But I don't think it would do any harm if you watched it at home. You just have to concentrate on everything that's happening because it's quite detailed. But I would most definitely recommend it. Go out and watch it. That was it. I just wanted to do a review on it because it was fresh in my mind, and I'm out for a milk run. I did not say that at the beginning. Anyway, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, comment, all of those things. And do I need to say a word at the end of this video? A word, you know, the word for from Blackadder Goes Forth. I can't think of anything now. I've said them all. I've said even cunning. That's it. No, I'm not going to say a word. Anyway, that was it. That's my quick review, and I've gone over 10 minutes. No, I can edit this to be less than 10 minutes. Catch you on the next video, which should, in theory, fingers crossed, famous last words, should be about the Boxster. Catch you on the next video.